Good morning and thanks for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Rick Douglas. Now to your top 11 stories at 11. The long nightmare of the Meridian Interchange makeover is about to come to an end tomorrow, and weather permitting, crews are scheduled to lift all lane and speed restrictions, and traffic will be able to move freely again. ITD attributes much of their ability to get all 8 lanes of the interstate open before Thanksgiving to the favorable weather over the past couple of months. Be aware, though, there's still work to be completed on and off ramps. And as the Meridian project wraps up, expect delays near the Broadway Bridge in Boise. Today, Broadway Avenue will be reduced to 1 lane between University Drive and Belmont Street. Flaggers will direct traffic through the intersections as crews relocate utilities. This work is in preparation for the Broadway Bridge replacement project, which begins in January. This morning, all Spokane public schools are closed due to power outages and school routes blocked by debris and downed power lines. This after a violent windstorm blew through the region 5 days ago. The local utility, Avista, says it has 100 crews on the job, but restoring power is proving tougher than they thought, and not just because of the freezing temperatures.
Some of our poles are located, remember, in backyards, easements. A lot of this work we're finding out is we're having to hand carry in poles, hand dig poles. Crews are having to do the work manually. We can't get lift equipment, backhoes, and those kind of equipment into those areas.
Avista says they've requested help from Montana and British Columbia because the work is taking so long, but they've tripled their workforce as a result. Still, many of those who lost power could be waiting until Wednesday for their lights and heat to come back on. The cinema at the Village at Meridian is back open for business this morning after a burst pipe in a bathroom forced an evacuation of the theater yesterday afternoon. Meridian fire officials say the pipe burst in a second-floor bathroom, sending fresh water cascading into the lobby below. The theater was closed for the rest of the day, but they're staffed and movies are screening as normal. Boise police need your help in locating a missing 19-year-old woman. Kimberly hasn't been seen since Saturday evening. Right now, police are not releasing her last name, but family members say she was last seen at a residence at the intersection of South Maple Grove and West Victory. If you know anything about Kimberly's whereabouts, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 343-COPS. Drug makers Pfizer and Allergan announced today a proposed merger that would create the world's largest pharmaceutical company. If approved by regulators, the deal would be worth about $160 billion, but it's not without controversy. The deal would move U.S.-based Pfizer to Ireland, home to Allergan. Critics say the move would allow the new company to save on federal corporate taxes. Tragedy in central Massachusetts. Dozens of animals were killed overnight when a fire tore through a shelter in Paxton. Firefighters and volunteers were able to rescue 5 dogs from the building, but 7 others, as well as 30 cats, did not make it out. Sweet Pea Friends of Rutland is a nonprofit rescue operation. Sweet Pea quickly put out a call for help on their Facebook page, and people from all over rushed to the scene with supplies. The cause of the fire in Massachusetts is under investigation. A Nampa woman and mother of 3 is desperate to find a bone marrow donor to help in her battle with acute myeloid leukemia. Sierra Frey Maxwell learned of her illness only in September, and since then, she's had to reorganize her entire life, finding staffers to keep her Bella Blue boutique running, scraping up enough money to manage the mounting doctor bills, and finally, to locate someone, anyone, who can be a bone marrow donor match.
My DNA is very unique, they tell me, and we're having a hard time finding me a donor that matches up with my DNA. Has nothing to do with your blood type. In fact, I will take over my donor's blood type if it's not mine. I'll have their DNA.
There was a matching event on Saturday, but 2 more are scheduled for next weekend. One is St. Paul's Church in Nampa and the other at Sacred Heart Church in Boise. For more information, you can visit the website bethematch.org. Governor Butch Otter and First Lady Lori Otter will participate in the ceremonial lighting of Idaho's Capitol Christmas tree. You're looking at video from last year. The tree was cut down last week from a home in the North End. It will be lit tonight on the grounds of the Capitol building. That celebration begins at 5 with music from the 25th Army Band, and the lighting gets underway at 5:30. In New Orleans, a manhunt is underway for a cold-blooded criminal. Police say the man tried to kidnap a woman and then attempted to execute a Good Samaritan who intervened. The gunman shot the victim once in the abdomen, but then his gun jammed. The Good Samaritan has been identified as 25-year-old Peter Gold, a fourth-year med student at Tulane University. Surveillance video helped police identify the gunman. One of 4 surviving white rhinos on Earth died this weekend at the San Diego Zoo. Nola's death left zoo staffers absolutely devastated. A number of things led to her passing, but in the last few weeks, she'd been fighting a bacterial infection. Nola was brought to the park back in 1989 with her sister and another male. The hope was the species could be saved by breeding them, but that never happened.